Hello YouTube, it's gadgetmainia and today we're going to be playing through the Crew. I apologise for any bad driving in advance because I'm doing this on PC and I'm used to doing racing games on console, mainly the Xbox. But for the second video I will be using a Xbox One controller, so after this video my driving will improve as far as on the game goes. So I'll just jump straight into the campaign. I've set everything up with before and just fine-tuned everything, so we'll just jump straight into what looks like a police chase in a Ford F-150.
Shut it down, kid. You're racing tonight.
We'll just start into just driving to the escape, which is 1.9 miles away, to escape this police pursuit. And this gives you actually a good idea of how the game performs, because this is I'm only running this 720p video, and already the game looks pretty good graphically. This is running at 720p and being recorded, funny enough, at 720p. So it's actually, you'll be seeing identically what I'll be seeing, because I'm recording at 720p at 30 FPS. Which is the exact what I've limited the FPS to and the quality I'm playing the game at. So I'll be able to make judgment from like for like of quality. But even though the actual driving experience as far as on a keyboard doesn't seem too bad. But I'll have to see in the next video when I've hooked up my Xbox One controller, which will of course allow me to properly see how the driving experience is on this game. Because I'm far better using a proper controller, particularly the Xbox in that configuration for any racing game. That was a easy escape, or just in reality of course you just had to make it, which was relatively easy. So first mission complete, thank you. Got, what is that, a silver? Hoping for gold, but for my first on a keyboard, that's not bad. That will be totally acceptable. I can accept that as it was just the first one of them all.
About time, Alex. I've got you a race-ready ride stashed in a barn nearby.
Where?
Where? You haven't updated your 510 net in a while, have you?
So presumably we just have to drive to somewhere.
See the radar on your mini-map? It should be showing the direction of the nearest data station. The closer you are, the greener it gets. Follow.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I should have to drive somewhere to update the 510. Because I do roughly know this first part of the campaign, as I had access to the closed beta on the Xbox One version of it, which was really good, but I decided to get it on PC to have get a couple of games on this, and also because a friend of mine has got it on the PlayStation, sorry, on PC even. Then we'll be able to do some, have a for my crew and do some joint racing on it, which will be pretty awesome. So I'm guessing now we have to drive to the first, to collect the car, then to the first race event.
Into these data stations all across the country, so we load our own info onto their servers. You can find everything on here, man. Race events, places of interest, you name it. And it's all encrypted and secure. I marked the barn on there, you see it?
Yeah.
Set a waypoint and get over there. We need you back in Detroit ASAP.
Yep, so it's going to collect the car. So now I just have to drive over there in my battered truck.
Get a hustle on, Alex. You ain't got time to screw around.
So we're just going to collect said car and then go on with the race. Thankfully the first part in that Jeep wasn't very far at all.
Hey Harry, I'm here.
We happy?
Oh, we happy.
Damn right. I put a lot of money under the hood, so you should have more than enough muscle to burn tonight's crowd. Speaking of which, you need to get here soon, Alex. Your brother's spooked about something.
It's not like Dayton. I'm on my way.
Not a bad car at all. Question is, how does it handle? Probably as it's for me on PC.
Detroit, Alex. Set a waypoint and get over here.
It's probably
Put your game face
it's probably
on.
not
This
good.
race is gonna be intense, man. You should see this crowd.
I can handle it.
No doubt. Just don't forget your brother needs to see you after. Sounds serious.
Probably
Don't
for me
worry,
on
man, I'm not
PC
gonna
it won't
forget.
go too well, I'm guessing. But we'll have to see. Hopefully it won't go too badly. Well, to see, because from what the bit I'm playing at the moment, I'm really enjoying this game so far. Even though I've only been playing, what is it, about 5 minutes. Because one of the things that was appealing about this game for me when I was, which is the reason I went and got it, one of the major reasons is the fact that the map is a 1:1 scale of the whole of America. So I'm guessing by that you could say drive on go to say Bonneville and drive on the salt flats, which of course in America they use for Speed Weekend. Which if that's the case, things like that would be pretty awesome, and drive around, I think it's Highway 66, I think it is, don't quote me on that, but the one that just goes all straight across America. If people shout at me that I've got the wrong state, well, it's I don't live in America, so that's my defence if I've got the wrong road, which I'm pretty certain I have. If I can find out which road it is I'm talking about, if I've got the wrong one, I'll put it down in the description. But for anyone who knows what I'm talking about, got a bronze, which is not great, but it's not bad, as it's still getting used to driving on a keyboard, as I'm obviously used to doing Xbox racing, hence with a controller, not a keyboard. But I'll have the keyboard for the next one, which is better. Because the thing is, hopefully when we finish driving to this race, because obviously as I said before, I've driven the beta, as I just somehow catch something. I think it's those bits that are sticking out on the side of the wall. I must have catched that on the far left side of the central divide. But as I was about to say before I crashed, is hopefully if it's anything like the beta, it should be just now driving to the race, which I should win, because I think they've sort of designed it like anyone can win it, because admittedly I'm not saying anything about myself here, but they've I get the impression that they've made it, as far as it goes, idiot-proof to, as far as winning it goes. Because before anyone comments anything, no, it's not been designed for me as it's idiot-proof, and I know a certain friend who has also got the game and possibly might watch my video just to compare, will make the obvious joke about me being an idiot when it comes to it, but no. But anyway, as I'm pretty certain I'm just gone past where the race meant to be, because I think I've just set the waypoint wrong, which isn't very helpful, should I say. It would have sort of helped if I set the waypoint to the correct area, wouldn't it? Or I believe that tends to help anyway, if your waypointed it correctly, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I did miss, so instead of just redoing the waypoint, just back up slightly and drive down here and then just stop it in. Oh, that's stopping that circle. I assumed you could just drive past and hit a button to enter the race, not that you had to pull up. Right, it's like this. I have to stop and then hit to
Alex,
enter
where are you,
it.
man? These hopefuls think the local boy ain't gonna show.
Relax, I'll be there.
So presumably we're about to get. Yep, looks like we're about to get into said race now. This was the one that said designed for idiots not like me. Lol. But we'll see now. So what are we up against? A Ford GT, a Nissan Skyline GTR, and a Mercedes SL AMG. Because the interesting bit with the actual Ford GT is Ford are meant to be bring out a new version of it at the I think it's the Detroit Auto Show this year. They're meant to be unveiling one from what the rumours say. It'll be pretty cool if they do. I can guarantee there's a spot down here where you go through a tunnel, and I'm gonna brake. I think it's this bit coming up here. Yeah, I brake. I always seem to think that you turn right there. I did that twice in the beta. As I just clipped the fence then. Not good. But I always keep losing the race from braking there. So 2 seconds, not too bad, but just got a little bit of work to do now to catch up. And get back to, because of course, like with any racing games you do, the goal is always to win, and I've got, I think it was just a little over 3 seconds to catch up to get the second place. Exactly 3 seconds as I very nearly spin the car, and I just get, that car just drives in front of me. I suppose they were in there laying on the road, but that's just a boring little picky comment, but I'll get, that's me into third. How close is it? About 2 seconds or so by looks of things, something like that. Yep, 2 seconds. Nearly it was 2 seconds there, which I'll catch up really quickly into second. Then it was 1 second again, which I'll should get through this corner on the inside. Thank you. Oh, that's a bit too close to spinning it there, but it worked, and now it's just a straight drive to the finish, so I'm guaranteed to win this race, which is a really good start to winning the first race like this. The sort of thing I wanted, which is pleasing, just shame that I wrecked the car. I'm not sure how much of the damage at the front is from when the Nissan drove into me after the race, or from when I crashed it myself, but I got a bronze overall, presumably on time, and all the other assorted results that they talk about is presumably why I only got that. But still, not a bad result. I should have, in reality, had a better overall result, but that's not too bad at all. So I'll just shut up.
I need a ride.
I'll just shut up now for the cutscenes.
I got you. Everything all right?
Fine. Let's go.
What I'm going to do is, for all the cutscenes, is I'm just going to totally shut up and not say a thing, so we can all hear everything that's said in every single one of all the cutscenes. Assume we got to drive for him this way. Yeah, that's how I was supposed to Nathan can meet this guy.
Picked up some heat tonight.
Yeah, I did. And I lost them. It was fun.
Why have you always got to be on the wrong side of the law? But you don't mess with cops on race night, because the more heat that's around, the less business we can do. See, shit like this is why you haven't got your 510 ink.
Come on, Dane, I'm the best driver in the whole
Yeah, I just crashed there.
I founded the 510s. I'm the V8. And my own brother is breaking the rules. How do you think that looks? No wonder I've got guys breaking rank left and right.
So, what are we doing?
Some guy named Shiv. Before I ain't met yet. I'm asking a few questions about money going missing.
So why am I here? Why not one of your 510s?
You're an asshole. You can drive. If I've got to put Shiv back in line, I want the best driver I've got to burn him on the road. And that was giving me a chance to take this stuff seriously.
The good thing is I'm actually seem to be starting getting used to the driving on this, with the sensitivity of this on this keyboard, because obviously I've done racing games on as I was getting used to it, because I've done racing games obviously on a computer, but the engine is different and the sensitivity is different. But as I've just driven into the back of 2 trucks, I think I'll just shut up about me saying and not go anywhere with me saying I was starting to drive well with it, getting used to the sensitivity, as I'll make myself look like a complete idiot. Which wasn't intentional to happen, should I add. I suppose things like that just do happen occasionally. level 2, so I get all cars will be upgraded in 3 levels. One upgrade point of some sort, and I didn't see what the other one was, and I got bronze for it. Yep, that was because of that crashing into those two trucks that messed it up. Tapping to that part 1 and totaling myself on the other one that I hit. Not good at all. Now it should be going into the cutscene, I'm guessing. Yeah.
That's the guy. Stay low.
All seems to have gone well. Or maybe not. Doesn't like everything's gone as well as it was intended, but that's life.
FBI, hands where I can see him.
My brother needs help. He's... What the hell are you doing, man? Help him! He's bleeding out!
Got a gun.
Well, that ain't mine.
This one's dead.
Well then, that just happened. He died and then we got framed. Looks especially like we just got framed for his murder. Yep, presumably that was the case as it's 5 years later, so it must be that he's in prison.
Hello, Alex. My name's Zoe. I think we can help each other. You know these guys, right? Of course you do. One killed your brother, the other framed you for his murder. Here's the deal. I want this guy. Special Agent Coburn, he's dirty. All I need is proof. And you want this guy, Dennis Jefferson, a.k.a. Shiv, leader of the 510 Motor Club.
I'm in.
You've got 8 more years in here. We can wipe that slate clean, clear your name.
I said I'm in.
Okay. You're hereby working for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I got nothing against being on the right side of the law.
There's a ride in the shop across town.
Hopefully it's one where they actually just will give us the
I'll be in
credit
touch.
so we can buy whatever car we want, because of course there's the 2 ways that these games do it.
I'm keeping this.
Whatever gets you stoked.
That you either have the money to buy the cars, another choice of sort of 3 or 4, or there's some racing games that just give you the car and you have to do whatever you just have to deal with that, or you sort of have to have the approach of like it or lump it, which is what I hope it isn't done, because that isn't my preferred option. My preferred will be if they just give me a load of credits and I can just go and buy the car of choice. We'll have to see now.
We have a budget for this operation,
Ah.
Alex, but it's limited. I've given you enough cash to buy and set up your first ride. Spend it wisely. After that, you'll have to fund upgrades yourself. They're all available to test drive, so take them for a spin.
Looks like that they're giving us the money, which is the way I prefer. Let's see, we've got the 2010 Chevrolet Camaro SS, we've got a 2013 Nissan 370Z, and a 2010 Ford Mustang GT, and a 2012 Dodge Challenger SRT8. On paper, the ones that are actually given the specs, the Dodge is the faster one. The one I'm rather questionable is either that or the Nissan, but what I will do is take the Dodge for a test drive. And if I can do, because I believe that they have a preset sort of street course that you can just do laps round. I'm going to do 2 laps, the standing start and then a flying lap. And if I can get it below a minute, in other words a 59.999 second lap or faster, I'll go for this, or if I can't, I'll try the Nissan. Well, I'd hope it's the Dodge, because I'd actually like to use the Dodge, as I usually use European or Japanese cars which obviously better handling, so it'll be nice to use an American car at the beginning of a game for a change. But we'll have to see. Yep, misjudged the car's handling a bit, because I was in the mindset that I was driving either a Japanese or a European car that was going to handle, not a American car that obviously without upgrades doesn't handle quite as well. But hopefully by the end of this lap I'll have worked out how to drive this car properly, and then be able to actually go for it on the flying lap. But of course the annoying thing is if I had my controller hooked up I'd be even faster again, but meh, that's life. The last thing I want to do is wipe myself out on one of the trees or cars, as it's such a easy to do it by the looks of things on this road circuit because of how narrow it is in places. But we'll have to see. So 108.2 for the first lap. So my goal is not 9 seconds off this lap. That's a much better first corner. At the moment, obviously that's not going to make it anywhere near the time, but I was gaining until then, I would have thought, but we'll have to see. The last thing I need is just to wipe myself out on any of the cars or anything on the side of the road. Actually, I got very close to getting it wrong there, but as long as I don't mind, as long as it's close. Surely I'm not going to do it as I just crashed there, am I? Surely I haven't completed this. Right, come on. Yes, 57.7 with a crash. That would have been a sub 55 if I hadn't have crashed into that tree. So, right, I'm having the Dodge. That will do as the first car for the game, as it's obviously fast enough looking at that result I just had. So now we'll just go and buy that car and see where it goes from here. So that's going to be the $1 million or the £1 million question. Once we buy the Dodge, do we go from there? I was just having one quick look at the Nissan again, but I think I ought to go for the Dodge. 22 grand and I have 57 grand budget, so that's a decent amount of money to start with. So that's not bad at all by any means. We'll have to see now. I'm guessing we either go for race or we just go and upgrade it now. But we'll have to see.
Alex, there are car dealers like this all across the country. Each dealer has a different stock of cars, so you might want to swing by each and take a look. There are 510 tuners all over the country who specialize in different car modifications. As this operation progresses, you'll need to access these tuners. But for now, let's get you a street ride. Street spec cars are lightly modified rides, built for street racing and tuned for the open road. Most common 510 ride for a reason. Street spec should be your first choice for cross-country road trips.
I'm guessing by that we go and drive to a tuner to upgrade the car then. Yep, Steve's Rex tuner, set waypoint. Admittedly I could fast travel, but what's the fun in that in a car game of fast travelling? Admittedly if you're going to drive...
across town. I'll send the location to your phone.
Admittedly if you were to drive from one end of America to the other just to go to a tuner, then fast travelling, yeah, possibly. As this is just round the corner, it would be stupid to fast travel. Just checking if I've derped. Or have I got it right? Yep, I've got it right this time. Just going on, obviously last time that was a total derp with setting the waypoint. Thought it might help as if I checked that I'd done it correctly for once. Yep, hopefully these street upgrades can improve the handling, as it's not bad, but the handling doesn't seem the greatest. But obviously, when I use the Xbox One controller with this, I'll be able to judge the handling far better of these cars. So I crash again, which doesn't help too much. So just drive down here and then tunes the car. So what I'll do is I'll install the upgrade, then I think that will be a good place to wrap up the episode once we've installed the street spec on the car.
Okay, Alex. Let's get your ride fitted for street spec. Every car you buy at a car dealer is a full stock ride, ready to improve at a tuner. There is one tuner per region, and you can buy a different spec starter kit from each of them. These kits transform your vehicle for different terrain types. After fitting a spec starter kit, you can buy car parts that are automatically installed on your vehicle. Installing mechanical car parts increases your vehicle's car level. The higher the car level, the better it performs.
The fact that I could use, say, this car on any surface off-road or just racing in snow looks really awesome. So it's the level 1 that Zoe prepared for us. Please do the awesome animation from the trailer, because if not,
Let's hit the streets.
if people didn't see the trailer, this is the awesome animation. But when I put together, that's just awesome. Well, I think this is going to wrap up the first episode of The Crew. Like this video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.